I was usually oblivious to everything except the noise in my head. That morning, I was painfully aware of every detail of that gorgeous Santa Monica day. My heart was pounding. The veins in my forehead visibly pulsed. I felt that people passing by could see right through me and knew I was a junkie thief. Fuck that guy. I was startled that I'd actually said that out loud while walking out of Lenny's condo. I quickly looked around to see if anyone was in earshot. I was relieved to see the coast was clear. I was talking out loud to reassure myself while robbing as much of Lenny's stuff as I could carry and quickly load into my Honda Civic. Paranoia gripped me as I hurried back and forth. I don't know how many times. While loading my car, I noticed that Lenny's was the only yard that wasn't taken care of. Something I'd never noticed before. The grass wasn't that vibrant green of the neighboring lawns. It was starting to turn, and what was left of the plants and flowers were unkempt and brown. The more I went back and forth carrying stuff out of Lenny's condo, the more out of place his condo looked by contrast, and the more anxious I became I was going to get caught. My punk outfit and the day itself, the kind of day that makes normies want to go out and play, added to my paranoia. The possibility of stealth was out of the question, at least in my mind. I stood out like a sore thumb, a fact that became more and more apparent as I brusquely packed my car. If asked, my rehearsed response was that I was helping Lenny move. Lenny was one of my drug dealers, the only Caucasian one. He'd just gotten arrested again, his third strike. The fact that he lived in a nice area made him my choice of preference. Earlier that day, Lenny had walked into the police station to bail out a friend. The thing was, he was holding heroin and crack on him in his fanny pack. It was full of drugs. He'd never slept and gotten so psychotic that he thought he was untouchable, that they wouldn't dare arrest him. That was great news to me. I headed to lovely West Side pronto. I made a quick stop in the hood to pick up some crack for his wife, Susan. Susan loved crack. And she was blind.
Oh, shit.
A blind crackhead. Woo! I wondered how that was even possible. How did she manage not to burn herself and everything else? That mystified me. I knew that once I'd given her some crack, like Pavlov's dog, she'd be upstairs in her bedroom walk-in closet in no time. Then I could have my way with their stuff. When Susan answered the door, she was a frightening sight in the sheer powder blue negligee that revealed her scrawny frame. I wondered if she knew it was sheer. And if so, did she think she was attractive? These things perplexed me. Being a crackhead, she was awfully thin, and from what I could tell, had not been in the near vicinity of food or soap for at least a week. Her hair was ratty, stringy, and hung in her face. I announced I was there to offer my condolences and a little crap to help her through this tough time. She flung her arms around me and almost slipped. I held my breath as she held on to me, and I wondered if she could sense why I was really there and that I was lying. I walked inside and committed to my role as the loving customer and friend. I handed her the little baggie of crack and watched her go upstairs. I could hear the bedroom door open and then close, then her footsteps as she went in the direction of her closet. I waited for a few minutes for her to become indisposed. Again, wondering how she managed not to burn herself in all that stringy hair. I found that quite impressive. It had to be that Zen ninja sixth sense that blind people have. Who knew they could use it to smoke crack? I waited alone in the dark living room, which was cluttered with stacks of swapped goods for drugs. just a minute longer to make sure the coast was clear. As soon as I could tell she wasn't coming out anytime soon, I started loading my car with some choice items. Their condo was chock full of stuff, like a warehouse. Some of it was good, most of it wasn't. It didn't matter to me, because I just needed the money. I took as much of it as I could fit into my little hatchback, giving me just enough room to drive. Some of Lenny's neighbors quietly witnessed my activity, watching with careful avoidance as I went back and forth to my car, parked right out front on the street, stealing in broad daylight. I was wearing a plaid lime green miniskirt and steel-toed motorcycle boots. Not very discreet, but that was my uniform at the time. Either a short skirt with a white beater tank top or jeans with a tank top, but always the steel-toed motorcycle boots. I specifically wore them in case I had to kick some ass. I thought of them as weapons. The places I had to go, doing what I was there to do, with all the sordid folk I had to do business with, I never knew what was going to go down. At any second, a situation could make a sharp left turn, and these people turn on a dime. I knew I had to be prepared, have some sort of plan. And as ridiculously insufficient and slightly crazy as that was my plan. Steel-toed boots to kick ass with. It sounds ludicrous, but it made total sense to me. I felt invincible. I fancied myself as a take care of business and kick ass if need be kind of girl. I imagined myself as an X-Men superhero in black spandex and black patent leather thigh-high boots, like Deathstorm or Strike. I saw myself as a woman who didn't need a man to protect her. I always imagined that I could take care of anything that arose with a karate kick and a punch.